Hi guys, this is Neba Wanebum Jude and you're welcome to Learning with Richie. So on this particular channel we discuss immigration issues, how to apply for employment opportunities abroad, how to look for educational opportunities, and also I share with you my lifestyle and issues that pertain to immigrants in Canada. So in today's video I am out to share with you some educational opportunities in major US universities. See me look down, I'm just looking at my notes and I'll kind of like get some of the information from here. Okay. So the program that we're kind of like talking about, the educational programs we're talking about, we kind of like have basically there are 4 of them right now that are open to Cameroonians precisely, and some of these opportunities have been shared by the US Embassy in Cameroon. So there is the Fulbright African Research Scholarship Program grant opportunity which closes on the 16th of May. There's also the Fulbright Foreign Student Program Notice of Study Opportunity which closes still on the 16th of May. There is the Herbert H. Humphrey Fellowship Program Notice of Study Opportunity and it closes on the same day. And there is the last one, the Fulbright Teaching Excellence and Achievement Notice of Training Opportunity, which closes on the 31st of March. So I kind of like shared this particular, the Fulbright Teaching Excellence Achievement Fellowship, and I talked about it and that teachers or people have been trained as teachers in Cameroon with some years of experience to apply for this particular program. So what is of interest to me today, I'm not really here to talk on all these 4 opportunities that are being launched by, or these 4 opportunities offered by the US Embassy. I want to pick one of them and talk about that one. And the one I'm interested in is the Fulbright Foreign Student Program, which is an opportunity offered by the US Embassy in Cameroon for students who are like for Cameroonians to apply for master's scholarships in the United States. And so I will just kind of like give a brief detail about this program and then we'll discuss eligibility issues as far as this particular program is concerned, the intricacies of the program. So we said that the US Embassy in Cameroon is pleased to announce the open competition for the Fulbright Foreign Student Fellowship and for the academic year 2023-2024. Established, this program was like this particular scholarship scheme was established in 1946 and funded by US government. The Fulbright program aims to achieve mutual understanding through academic and cultural exchange. The Fulbright Foreign Student Program is a competitive merit-based scholarship program which recruits and nominates young Cameroonian professionals for graduate level studies at United States universities. Each year, approximately 3 to 5 Cameroonians are granted fully funded scholarships. So guys, like, you should not listen to the number and kind of like feel discouraged, because what happens is like sometimes people listen to these numbers and they're like, oh my god, it's just 3 or maybe 5, and at the end maybe like nobody applies finally for this particular program. So you might want to like make your application, just listen to the application requirements, you look at them and you see if you meet these requirements. It doesn't cost you anything to make the application, so apply and see what happens. Okay, so awards are contingent upon approval by the J. William Fulbright Scholarship Board, availability of funds, and successful academic placement. What does the Fulbright Scholarship Program provide? So this particular program, it provides is for candidates interested in graduate studies in the United States, and priority is given to candidates pursuing a master's degree. So the funding for this particular program covers 2 years of 2 years. It's just for 2 years. So if you're doing a program which is longer than 2 years, the scholarship will not cover it. So typically it's for a master's program, which most master's programs are 2 years. So the next point is like successful candidates will receive a full scholarship which covers fees related to tuition, round-trip airfare to the United States, a monthly stipend, and health insurance to pursue graduate degree program that begins in the academic year 2023-2024. So they will be starting that program for the academic year 2023-2024. That is next September of next year. Students accepted to degree programs less than 2 years are only eligible to receive funding through the designated period of their degree completion. So if you are a student, maybe let's say for instance you have applied for a program in the US and your duration of that program is 1 year, and if you succeed in this scholarship, the scholarship will only cover the program for 1 year. So you're not going to do a program for 1 year and you receive money for 2 years. That's what they're trying to say at this level. Then if you're a visiting student, like maybe you have your program is kind of like in partnership with maybe you're doing a program that is in partnership with other universities. So like if you kind of like move into the US as part of that particular program, so the scholarship will cover just the time that you spend in the US university. So that's what they're saying again. Who can apply? This competition is open to people who meet the following criteria. Criteria number 1, you must be a Cameroonian citizen or a permanent resident holding a valid Cameroonian passport. You have at least the equivalent of 4 years of university study, and the equivalent of which is equivalent of a US bachelor's degree. Applicants that have 3 years of tertiary study should have equivalent of 13 years of primary and secondary school, and their undergraduate should allow them to be eligible to pursue higher education in Cameroon. Please note that the final equivalence decision will be determined by each US university, and not all institutions will accept a 3-year undergraduate degree. So what they are talking about at this particular point is like most bachelor's program in the US are 4 years, and since the system of education in Cameroon is 3 years, so they are saying that for you to be able to get into this scholarship, your bachelor's degree should be equivalent to that of bachelor's degree in the United States, which requires 4 years. So for you to make up for those 4 years, you're required, if your degree is a 3 years degree, then you must have spent at least 13 years from primary school to secondary school before getting into university in Cameroon. So the duration that you spend in the primary school plus secondary school should be equivalent to 13 years plus your 3 years in university. If you meet those criteria, then now you are eligible for this particular scholarship, and they put a further condition that it's not all universities in the US that will still accept this condition. So there are some of them that will emphasize that you must have a 4-year undergraduate degree. So those like so it's just to do the application and for them to go through it and see if that's the situation in Cameroon, like everybody, and this scholarship is open for Cameroonians, so they will select somebody in Cameroon who has a program which is 3 years and who has actually spent 13 years in primary and secondary school. Number 3 is that you should have a high level of English proficiency that is sufficient to engage in full-time graduate level studies in the United States. However, there is an option to do long-term English study for candidates with moderate English language skills for a period of up to 8 months. Participation in the long-term English will be determined based on English language ability and test score. So what they're saying here is like for you to be able to participate in this particular program, you should be very proficient in English. And if you are not proficient in English, that you can carry out graduate studies in the US, there's an option for you that you can enroll and you do language 8 months before the program begins. So now, and they're kind of like saying that the decision for you to decide whether you're going to do the program without language or you have to do the language before the program will be determined by an English test that you will take and the scores that you actually obtain in that test. Special accommodations are available for students with disability. So please take note, if you are a student with a disability, this is an opportunity for you to go for, because I think they will give extra privilege to students with disabilities. Say accommodations available to students with disabilities. The Department of State has provided previous guarantees with a screen reader and note-taking software, laptop, cell phone, canes, wheelchairs to assist them while on their grants in the United States. So they have those things that you will need as somebody with a disability or somebody with different abilities. So if you are somebody with different abilities, they provide cane, they provide phone, they provide other things. They provide maybe device that kind of like optimized objects that you can read if you have sight issues. So the department provides this accommodation for people with special needs, or people with disabilities, or people with varied abilities. So what will make you not to be eligible for this particular scholarship? So the following persons are ineligible to apply for the Fulbright scholarship in the US. It's the candidates who had already received a Fulbright Foreign Student Program grant, candidates who have already received the Humphrey Scholarship, candidates who are currently living and studying in the United States, candidates who have earned a bachelor's or a master's degree from a US college or university within the last 3 years, candidates who have received any scholarship for graduate studies outside of Cameroon within the past 5 years or are scheduled to receive scholarship from outside Cameroon. So if you are benefiting from a scholarship from outside of Cameroon already, or you already have a scholarship that will be granted to you maybe in the next years to come, you are not eligible for this particular scholarship. Local employees of U.S. missions in Cameroon employed by the U.S. So if you are somebody who is employed by the U.S. and you're working in Cameroon, you are not eligible for this particular scholarship. Which fields of studies are supported? The program supports studies in all disciplines, with one exception. Proposals for medical studies involving patients' contact cannot be approved under the Fulbright program. So if you are doing any program, you can apply for this particular scholarship, apart from people who are doing medicine who will be dealing with patients who cannot apply for this particular scholarship. How can you apply for this scholarship? The deadline for the application submission is 11:59 p.m. that is Cameroon time on Monday, May 16, 2022. So what do you need? Like, you have to read through the application guidelines carefully. So you have to read through what this thing is talking about, and you understand what is there, and you apply online there is a website. I'm going to share the application link with you in this video. And then you also have candidates must attach a copy of their bachelor's degree, diploma, certificate, license, or equivalent. So you have to attach a copy of your diploma with your application. The Fulbright Foreign Student Program has a zero tolerance for plagiarism policy. Application materials must be processed using software to help identify instances of plagiarism. So here I don't really like they're talking about plagiarism, you doing kind of like copying and pasting and stuff, but we will look at the criteria to see if there's any written requirement to know if this condition holds you maybe at the level where you have to produce some material for them to assess as part of maybe the evaluation criteria for this particular record. But for now, we cannot really say, but that's just part of what the program makes us to understand. So let's proceed. What is the selection criteria? This competition is based on academic and professional merit without regards to race, color, national origin, sex, age, religion, geography, socioeconomic status, disabilities, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Preferences will be given to those without extensive or recent experience in the United States. A successful applicant is someone who can demonstrate serious commitment to completing the program as scheduled and returning to Cameroon, demonstrate a clear and detailed description of study objectives, and show a clear connection between their study objectives and future goals through a compelling set of ACEs. So this is where now the plagiarism condition will come in. Remember, there is a set of ACEs that you're going to write, and therefore, based on this ACE, you cannot just go online and copy somebody's work and paste or send it to them. They're going to run it through that application to see if your work resembles another person's work, and if you get kind of like a plagiarism rate, maybe 15%, the work will be said that maybe you've copied somebody's work and it will be turned down. So your application will be turned down. The one original material, something that has been produced by you. So you should not go online and copy material and just come and paste it. If you are researching materials, you should be able to reference the material properly to make sure like you give academic credit to those who deserve it. All right. Have a depth and breadth of work experience in their intended field of study and a full understanding of the field. So you also have to demonstrate that you have an understanding, deep understanding and a broad area of your field of studies and you have experience in it. Demonstrate leadership potential based on participation in academic, extracurricular, community and professional development activities and personal attributes. So if you are somebody who has been attending conferences, you have been participating in one activity or the other, this is something that is good for you, because that will also count, like those extracurricular activities, those activities that are outside of the regular academic things that we do. If you can showcase them, then it will be a plus to you. To show dedication to Cameroon and potential to make a positive impact upon return. So you show that you are committed to Cameroon. Maybe there are certain things that have been carried out, or maybe you're an influencer in Cameroon, and you also show maybe like you have that connection to Cameroon, that you're going to return to Cameroon upon completion of your program. So that is another requirement. Contribute to promoting mutual understanding between the people of the United States and Cameroon through educational and cultural exchange activities. You should be willing to be a cultural ambassador of Cameroon. So when you go out there in the United States, if you have selected for this particular program, you should be willing to showcase Cameroonian culture. You should be willing to defend the interests of Cameroon in the United States. That's what it's saying here as part of this program. You have demonstrated academic excellence and strong English proficiency. So those are the various things, those are the strong points that will be used as a selection criteria for this particular scholarship. Additional selection criteria for applicants in long-term English. So if you'll be that candidate who wants to do English, to study English first before the program begins, so the applicant accepted for a long-term English training must be candidates for a master's degree in their current field, and individuals seeking an MBA, law, or a non-degree program are not eligible. So for you to go in under this particular, go in as somebody who will be taking language, and before beginning the program, you must be a master's student. For MBAs and law students or non-degree students, it's not eligible, so they will not authorize you to do that. And applicants in this category must be available to begin their training either in January or March 2023. Remember, you start in January, and then 8 months it will take you now. January, 8 months will take you to that September when you're supposed to start the program for 2023. And what is the timeline for this particular program? So the grant was announced in February 2022, and materials will be made available. And the deadline for the program is May 16, 2022 by midnight. And then on June 22, applications will be reviewed, and semi-final selection, interviews, and final decisions will be made. On July 2022, final complete their online application and prepare for testing. So they will complete the online application and then now get ready to take the English language test. August to September 2022, finalists they will take the GRE, they will take the GRE or GMAT, TOEFL, IBT, IELTS test. And then November to March 2023, submission of applications to the US universities. December to January and March, long-term English language participants will travel to the United States so they can begin their program. April to May 2023, university placements will be confirmed. So at that time, the application that students have made will be confirmed if they have places in the United States, in universities there. And then from May to June 2023 will be pre-departure orientation. So they will kind of like have to tell you, those who have been selected, on the various ways, what they will do or what will be expected of them when they get to the US. And then June to July 2023 will be medical checkup and visa application. So when they do the medical, if you succeed, and they also do the application for you to a student visa application in the US, and you granted it, then you're good to go. July to August 2023, departure to the United States. So like we said, the deadline is the 16th of May 2022 at midnight in Cameroon. And yeah, so that is it. That is what is concerned as far as this particular program is. So if you've listened to it, like you see the admission criteria, the conditions are stiff, but that doesn't, it should not kind of like deter you from applying for this particular position. Remember, when some of the conditions are very strict, many people will not meet these conditions, many people will run away from it. And now when you evaluate yourself and you see that the conditions, you kind of like satisfy these conditions fully, go ahead and make your application. This might be that beginning step for you to make your way to the United States. So guys, thank you for watching this particular video. I will include the links to this particular where the scholarship is and the application link on this video, so you can look under the description section of this video and you have all these links. Please do well to like this particular video, give it a thumbs up, and click the notification bell, and please share with others who you think that this video might be helpful to them. We'll see you in my next video.